Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. We're so glad you could join us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. It's not uncommon to witness a neighborhood party, like a wedding or a birthday, with sounds coming out of loudspeakers. Noise, however, is not given the credit for the short and long-term health problems it could cause, sleep disturbance being just one. The World Health Organization, in its guidelines for community noise, reported that noise-induced hearing impairment is the single most common irreversible occupational hazard worldwide. And globally, about 360 million people have disabling hearing difficulties. 9% of them are children. Our guest on Health Matters today is Dr. Olufemi Olude. Dr. Olude is a consultant ear, nose and throat surgeon and the head of department Ear, Nose and Throat Clinic at General Hospital, Lagos Island. He is also a member of several associations in Nigeria and abroad. You're welcome to the show, Doctor.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Now, people know that loud noise could be injurious to the ear, but what else does loud noise cause? Are there other debilitating things that it causes to people?
Loud noise causes an excessive noise.
Excessive noise.
That is very injurious to the system, especially to the ear, to the whole part of the body. It affects the immunity system. It affects the well-being of the patient. It causes sleep disturbance and what we call arrogance and annoyance.
So you have an annoyed, a disturbed person when he doesn't
sleep well, and that type of person, when he's into production, it can affect his production capability in the morning. It can lead to accident in the place of work, and the person can show some aggressive tendencies.
And all this because of noise.
All this because of noise.
When do you actually call it noise? Because some people see what you see as noise, they see as sound. Is there any measurement?
No, there's a measurement we have that WHO have recommended for every form of, in the working place, in the home environment, and everywhere. And when it becomes a noise that is disturbing, that you are exposed to that type of sound for a very long time, of a long period of time. And when you're exposed to a very long period of time, that it becomes a form of disturbance. It's just like somebody now just owning his car on to your bedroom for a very long time, or you are sleeping in front of a generator for a very long time. Sooner or later, you see that it becomes irritating to you. And once it becomes irritating to you, it can lead to so many things. Even it can cause headache, it can cause fatigue, even it can still affect your heart. And a lot of things can happen from that because it's a form of an arrogance you can inflict it on other people because...
You mentioned affecting the heart. Is this a direct cause and effect thing, or is it a secondary cause?
It's a form of an indirect cause because statistics and researches have shown even that noise affects even a child right from the conception. Just imagine a woman that is pregnant that stays in a place that is the noise level is very high. Effectively, if you are at the point of gestation, especially the first 2 weeks to 30 to 60 days after the conception period.
Oh, it's even worse when the baby is younger in the womb.
It's especially in the conception period between 2 weeks to 60 days. That time when the internal organs are being formed and part of the central nervous system is being formed. And then with this type of case, it can lead to low birth weight and some form of congenital abnormality in the child. It can be like a form of a cleft lip palate and a form of deformation in the spinal cord.
Because of noise?
because of noise. There have been researches have
You know, people don't
documented
believe the noise a woman hears affects her unborn baby.
it affects when what I mean. Like, it has been a constant when the person has been exposed for a very long time.
Okay, sustained period
of noise.
So if it's intermittent, it's not sustained. Maybe it comes and goes.
It comes and
goes. It could be okay.
It could be okay, but we also advise. That's why I usually advise women to stay away from any form of a noise. I mean, you see a child, when a child is sleeping, the noise is going to rattle the child.
That's correct. That's correct.
So it means that it has affected the child. Just like the same thing also that we see ourselves, it makes us vulnerable. It decreases our immune system. It makes us also, as I've said, aggressive and annoyance a lot of time.
But I'll tell you what I actually have experienced, that there's some level of noise that actually causes pain in the ears.
Yes.
What level of noise is that, and can it cause deafness?
It can cause deafness. What we mean by this level of noise, there is the WHO standard that any noise in any environment should not be more than 55 to 60 decibel. But we have in some manufacturing factories and everything that the noise level is higher than that period. And when workers also are exposed to that type of noise for over 8 hours in a day.
Like in a factory.
Like in a factory. That one is there. Even, let's say if you are still living in your own room, ordinary noise of refrigerator that is about 40 decibel can still irritate you. If you stay in that room for a very long time and the only noise that you are hearing is that type of that from refrigerator, it can affect you. So those are the things that WHO has set a standard for everything. And during that period also, you have to be wearing protective ear set just to protect you from exposure to that high level of sound emission.
Okay, is there a standard for the kind of ear protection that one wears, or can you just cover your ears with some sort of earplug?
No, you cannot just cover your ear, because all these ear protector that we add is some form of different level of acoustic materials. There is one that is what is sound absorbing, sound masking. There are a lot. So there are some one in the market that just ordinary. You can't just like. It's just like the same one. What a pilot is wearing in the airport is different from what somebody will be wearing just in the disco hall. So everyone depends on the level of the complexity of acoustic material that makes that protect the emission of that sound.
The kind of noise, the level of noise is exposed to.
That is entering the ear. And then the ear on its own has its own mechanism, because our pinna, the external ear with the middle ear, when the sound passes, they amplify the sound up to a level, up to 20, up to a factor of 20 that we call it. So that when that type of sound enters the ear, it goes into the inner ear and it affects the cochlear ear cell. The cochlear ear cell is a safety cell that we use in hearing. And the bad aspect of it, when this type of things hearing is always an irreversible hearing loss, which is very, very serious.
Are there any types of hearing losses that can come back, that are reversible?
Everything depends on...
I mean, like on their own. Maybe the person is unfortunate to be exposed to some sort of sound that his ear cannot take, and he has lost a bit of his hearing. Over time, maybe in a quiet environment, can that hearing return to him?
It will take some time to regenerate that nerve back. So that's why you say early detection is always helpful. And at the same time, what we really say that we should always sort out that patient and those type of workers out of that constant hazard.
We'll come back to the workers and the types of noise in a minute. We'll need to take a break now. Okay. Let's take a really short break and be back after this. Stay with us.